next on the vote. Chelsea are very underrated at the moment. No one's really bigging them up. No one's overly slagging them off. There just seems to be a bit of a lull. There's talks of Declan Rice coming in, Bruno Gomes, Christopher Nkunku, new technical directors in. The form under Graham Potter has been pretty good. Only Newcastle with three points more, but they've played a game more. Arsenal only 2 points more. That's since Graham Potter has been there. So the form hasn't been bad. 2 draws on the bounce wouldn't have gone down too well. What are you saying, Monster? Are you happy with life under Todd B and Graham Potter? And why are Chelsea so underrated right now?
I don't know about underrated. In terms of am I happy under Potter? I mean, it's been good. I'm not going to sit here and say it's great or it's rubbish, blah blah. The guy hasn't even had no time to really put his stamp on. My issue has always been there's certain players here who we need to get rid of. Like they need to go. They're holding us back. The only way we're moving forward is if we get rid of them. Luckily, some of their contracts are expiring come the end of the season. Obviously, not Kante. I love Kante, but it might be time to just move on because we're struggling to keep him fit for more than 5 games. So we might have to move on. But his partner, who's next to him, his contract is expiring at the end of the window. We thank God. He will be moving. And there's a couple more that need to go. But apart from that, this is the problem with Chelsea fans, right? They'll watch the Champions League game and lose their mind. But then they forget that these guys, they don't struggle in the Champions League. They struggle for consistency in the Prem. In the Prem, they are average. Like, they are completely average. They'll drop a 10 out of 10 in the Champions League, and in the Prem on a Saturday, they drop a 5. We do this over, and it becomes this conveyor belt of Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, we were great. Oh, you're in the mud, blah blah blah." And then the next day, they're shit again. So I don't know. I don't know what to imagine with Chelsea or where we're gonna go. I don't know. I think we're gonna get top 4, yeah, because the other guys, let's be serious, they're not really doing anything. But we'll get top 4. Yeah.
Yo, I love how you just ignore Jorginho. You don't even say his name anymore.
He's
You lot were screaming Ballon d'Or shouts 2 years ago, by the way. All Chelsea fans were saying that, Georgie. So this is crazy.
That because people get at me because, there's a video at me screaming about, Jorginho to win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
listen, if any player from my club is being nominated for Ballon d'Or, I'm backing it. Like, it's bragging rights, bro. It's bragging rights. Are you not going to back it? You know what I mean? So... But it doesn't make him not.
Yeah, the drop off is crazy. The drop off is crazy.
It's not. No. Let me explain this to you. It's not a drop off. What happened was he was great in the Euros and the Champions League, but that season he was shit in the Premier League, and he has always been bad in the Premier League. He has never had a good season in the Prem. Never since he's been at Chelsea FC. That's what people get twisted. So now we're seeing it. And he's not the only one. As P. I know a lot of people rave about Kovacic, but Kovacic is not as good as people try to make him out to be. He's not. Do you get what I mean?
I think he's good, man. Every time I see him play, he's doing bits. I don't know. I'm surprised at you for that one.
No. What you see is him dribbling past 2 or 3 players, but you never look at what he's doing after that. People were talking Salzburg. It's Salzburg, my bro. Salzburg is not the standard we should be looking at. I'm talking about let us go against Brighton on a weekend and let them man do something. If they can't, that Salzburg win means nothing to me. I'm sorry. The Prem is the bread and butter.
So who you calling overrated besides Jorginho on your team?
Jorginho's overrated. I think Kovacic is overrated. I'm sorry.
Kovacic is overrated.
Yes, I think he's over. Chelsea fans think he's world class. Kovacic is not a world class player. For you to call him world class, you are overrating him. He's not. He's not a world class player. So if you think he's world class, I'm sorry. He's overrated. Like
is
he a world class player, Sam?
He's very injury prone, though.
But forget the injury. Is he a world class player to you?
When he plays, absolutely.
You see, overrated. Overrated. How is he a world class
I would snap your hand off for Kovacic right now. If he was available.
I think Kovacic is your best midfielder, by the way.
I agree. Our best midfielder, barring injury, if there's no injuries, our best midfielder is Kante. There's not even a question about it. Kovacic is just as injury prone as Kante is. So if you're saying who's our best
Nah,
midfielder,
he's not. He's not as injury prone as Kante. Kante can't even play 2
Kovacic
games
has
these
not.
days.
Listen, hold on. Kovacic has not played more than 23 league games since he's been at Chelsea. Can you not tell me that's injury prone? Kante has completed more than 23 games a season. If you think I'm lying, go check it out.
What about your player of the season, Mason Mount?
Huh?
Mason Mount.
Him too. Like he can get it too. Bro, anybody in this Chelsea team can get it. Mason Mount, the only thing I'll say about Mount is Mount dropped 29 GA last season. I can't have a go at him if you dropped 28 GA last season. What can I say? Like, how much can I really get him if you dropped 29 goals and assists last season? Do you get what I mean? So those are tangibles. If you're bringing tangibles to my team, I can't really chat shit about you. But if you can't bring tangibles to the team and the only thing you can give me is that you could dribble past 2 or 3 players. Okay, Mr. Dribbler, you dribble past 2 or 3 players. What next? Where does the ball go? It goes backwards, and we have to start again.
This monster picking. Who hacked you,
again.
bro?
Huh?
You know, Monster. What
Who
I'm
hacked
thinking
you?
is,
Since when do you rate GA so highly?
GA, listen, GA is important. I know people do. It's important. That's how you win games. Let's not do this whole GA and blah, blah.
Remember you said this when we have a certain debate, Monster. Remember you said this.
No. Can anyone sit here and tell me goals and assists is not important in football? How are you going
It is
to
important,
win games?
but Kovacic has never been a goals and assists guy his whole career.
So, but he's not good. Hold on, he's playing in midfield, right? He's not good defensively. None of them are. The only good defensive player in that midfield is Kante, and he's not good. His passing is kind of one-dimensional. So if you're talking about him breaking lines and things like that, he can't do that either. So what is it? How is he meant to take our club forward if he can't do none of that?
That's
what
not the
what is
point.
Kovacic? So is he a DM? He's a DM, right?
Thiago doesn't get GA.
He's a central midfielder.
Yeah, he's. I don't know.
Thiago doesn't get GA, Monster, and people rate him, man.
Why aren't you judging your attack on the GA, not your midfielders?
Yeah, talk to me about Sterling's GA. Those people matter.
Hold on. I'm not judging him on GA. Somebody, I think Sam brought up GA, but I was just talking about tangibles, right? You said when I'm looking at Thiago, right? Constantly, he's breaking those lines. He's getting the ball to the person that's gonna make the assist. I can't see any Chelsea midfielder doing that. What Chelsea's midfield constantly do is they're very good at keeping a hold on the ball and constantly recycling. When you ask them to do anything apart from that, they cannot do it. They can't. They don't have the capabilities. Their passing is very, very limited. It just is what it is. It's just facts. You can go look it up.
So
guys, I'd love to stay here to shit on Arsenal, but unfortunately I have to go now. So apologies. See you guys later. I wish we had the Arsenal thing on now. I would have given you something to clip, Terry. You get me? But
no, speak to you soon, Sam. Speak to you soon,
yeah,
mate.
See you guys, man. See you guys.
Yo, Monster.
Take care,
Go on.
I'm just looking at Raheem Sterling. I'm looking at Aubameyang. I'm looking at all these guys, and you guys are like the same things keep happening every time you buy attackers. Every time you buy attackers, they just keep messing up. So you're saying it's the midfield and it's nothing on the attackers.
Hold on. My thing is, so I asked at the beginning of the season when I came on here, right? I said if Aubameyang and people, you can look up the clip that's there. I said if Aubameyang and Sterling turn out to be exactly how Lukaku's and all these guys are, what are we going to blame it on? Because guys can't. Aubameyang, as much as obviously people take the mick out of him, he scored a lot of goals at Barcelona. And Sterling, we know who Sterling is. These guys, strikers and attackers, can't keep coming to Chelsea and failing, and we're just saying it's the attackers. It makes no sense. Meanwhile, when we're watching our midfielders, they're unable to get the ball to the attackers. You have to actually go to the games to see it. Last season, I went to so many games, and I'm watching Lukaku, I'm watching Werner last season, Mount, all these guys making brilliant runs. The ball will never come to them. What they will do, and Jorginho and these guys will do, is they will turn the ball back and start recycling all over again, allowing teams to reset. How are we meant to penetrate teams that way? It's just not possible because you keep allowing defenses to reset. When Liverpool make a move, it's 2 passes, boom, 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 straight to the attackers. With Chelsea, that same move is 6 passes. A team will reset its defense. How are we meant to freaking score goals if we keep allowing teams to do that? We're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. But these players, the experiment is over. We've done it for about 5 years. That experiment now is over. It's time to buy some real players that are going to penetrate defenses. It's time. These man.
Well, in fairness, listen, I like Kovacic. I think he's very good. But that's it. I think he's very good. When you talk about the other day, is he world class? Maybe if he could stay fit and get a long run of games, he'd go to another level. But you are right about the passing. You don't have midfielders that can consistently break lines with their passing. Kovacic does it by carrying the ball forward, and you need a mixture. I think Kovacic is a great talent to have in your team if you've got other midfielders that can pass the ball as well. But it's about balance and it's about a mixture. Man United added Casemiro and Christian Eriksen, and because of their passing ability, we're passing through the lines so much easier. We know City's players can pass through their lines as an example. So I do agree with you on that, and I think sometimes your attack is left a little bit out to dry. Kaz, what's your take on Chelsea right now? Because obviously you've seen sort of Monster give his view there as a Chelsea fan. Do you feel like they're being underrated, overrated, or kind of just left to kind of simmer on their own? Like, because there doesn't seem to be any hype from anyone about Chelsea at all, or is that right for now? Like, what's your take?
Nah, look, you can go back weeks ago to when I done my prediction. I said Chelsea would finish second, third doesn't make a difference to me. The fact that Potter hasn't even lost with Chelsea yet, the fact that he's only just getting his philosophy across, and yet they're in a position where they are with a game in hand, says a lot of what I need to know about Chelsea currently, because they're only going to get better, especially in January. They are going to spend. And don't get me wrong, they are a bit boring, a bit crap to watch in the eye level, but they're still getting results regardless. They're playing for the manager. It's just like, I get it. I can see doubts. People want them to fail. I want them to fail as a Manchester United fan, but Potter's going to get he's going to get across at some point. And if this is the Chelsea that are crap, or what people think that are crap right now, then if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. That's a bit like us. We were looking crap at one point, especially after the Brentford game. And then he kept moving forward and forward and forward to get good results. That's exactly where Chelsea are right now. They're just moving forward. It might take a little bit more time, but they're still getting results. So if I was a Chelsea fan, I'm sitting back thinking, oh, our rival fans think we're crap right now. I'm taking that all day long, because certain managers have had more time than what my manager has, and we're above them. So what is it? That's the way I would look at it personally. I think Chelsea got a decent squad. I think they're going to get even a better squad. So yeah, man, I think Chelsea got nothing to worry about, even if they are a bit sore on the eye, but it's just because they got the same team. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. I get what Gal's saying. Sterling, I feel like he needs to go up a gear, but I think all the players need to go up a gear a little bit. Kukureya's not even on form at the moment. He's 60 million down to 61 million and all that. Aubameyang maybe needs to get a bit more on the score sheet. Maybe the right-hand side's evident. They got a couple injuries that affect them on their side. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'll be like, you know what, we're doing right now with what we currently got. And that's where it is. So, yeah, man.
Sammy here says, why is it everybody's acting like Chelsea are in a rebuild? They finished third and added 300 million on top of that. They should be higher. I think rebuild. I mean, you've got to be fair with Chelsea. New owners, new manager, new style. There is a lot of new things going on at the club. So I don't think it's just as simple as spending money. And they still need more. But you look at the two players they're linked to in midfield right now, Bruno Guimaraes and Declan Rice. You put them two midfielders into this Chelsea team, they're a different level. I do think they and we know they want to add someone different to Aubameyang, because they even said when they bought him, they literally said he's a makeshift. We know this. They're going to look for an out-and-out number 9 as well. So I kind of look at Chelsea a bit like you, Kaz. I don't even want to banter him, even when their own fans aren't happy, because they're going. I said it when the sanctions happened. Chelsea are going nowhere, and the fact that they're still sitting in 4th position, just outside 5th, just behind Newcastle, with all the transitions and issues that they've had, they're gonna come good for me. Like, Chelsea are gonna come good for me, whether it's this season or next. They're gonna be there or thereabouts, no doubt.
They get the director of football.
Their issue is their fault, though. It's our fault, because let me tell you this, and this is shocking, right? We haven't spent no money in midfield since 2018. Was it 2019? And the last person we bought in midfield in 2019 was Kovacic. That is shocking. All these years we've been buying attackers, we've been buying defenders, and you've neglected probably your most important part of the pitch. Your pitch where you build everything, or every defense starts from, attack starts from. You've completely abandoned that over the years. Tuchel, big ups to Tuchel, he won the Champions League. He's a criminal. I'm sorry. The reason why he's a criminal, a year ago, he was crying that he only had 3 midfielders and he needed a midfielder. But then when they gave you Tchouaméni as an option, you turned him down and then you end up taking Saul. Then this summer, they were asking him, what about your midfield? He said this in the press conference. He said this, I don't need a midfielder. He said that with his own mouth. And then one midfielder goes down and then they start scrambling. They bid for Edson Alvarez. They bid for Lavia of Southampton. And on the last day, they panic and loaned Zakaria, who hasn't touched the pitch. What kind of criminal business is that for a club? Like, that's disgusting to me. You know your midfield is shit.
Must be a German thing. It must be a German thing because that's exactly what Klopp did as well this year. Like identical. Like don't need a midfielder, and then shit, maybe I do. It must be a German thing. Must be a German thing. But Chelsea just in such an interesting position to me. As I say, like I kind of look at what you're trying to build. And that's why I can't sleep on you. The fact that you could end up by this time next year with Declan Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, or a player of that level, if you can't get him away from Newcastle, Rafael Leao, Christopher Nkunku, like the players you're looking at with the manager you've got, Chelsea are going to be there or thereabouts.